All right, as promised, here is a simple way for you guys who have been successful and got a turkey or two to make a beautiful fan mount of the turkey feathers that you got from your bird. Really easy, really simple kind of fan mount. Doesn't take very long. Some of the tools you'll need, you need some gloves, obviously, a really sharp knife. I like to use my Havalon to kind of trim the backside of it. And you'll need some, I use the borax, 20 mule team borax to dry the quills out and the flesh around the quills. Works really well. Kind of no nonsense, easy to do. Let's get started. All right. So a tip for you guys when you're cleaning your bird, always leave a little patch of skin about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. Take some of that skin off the back of the turkey because it gives you these fan feathers right here that you need. You need to stair step down whenever your plaque goes on there. It presents a prettier plaque. So that piece of skin, as you can see, I can move it up and down and I can use that. And so this piece of skin right here. And so the first thing I'll do here is, I'm hoping you guys can see this, is I grab these feathers that exposes the back of the fan part right here. I'm not going to use any of these feathers, but I kept them just in case. I didn't want to cut it in the field. So what I'm going to do is right against this, the back of the fan where you can see this flesh right here, I'm going to slowly trim. As you can see, I'm going to take this and I'm going to follow those fan feathers down, exposing the quills, but keeping the flesh between the quills together. Like I said, I got a really sharp knife, and if you need to, you can pluck some of these little down feathers away from here because they're not in the fan anyway. I usually just kind of pluck them out so I can see exactly where I'm at. And I'll lay my knife right there real quick. Try to get as much of that fat as I can off of the right between there. Really simple. It's not very difficult at all. Sure you can see that good. Now there's a bone that comes up right here where the gland is, where the oil glands are. And what I like to do there is I like to get a pair of snips. And what I'll do with those snips, like that, is I'll just cut that. Heard that pop? And then that little bone right there kind of releases down into the middle these fan feathers. And if you just want to get as much meat as you can out of there. Now what I'm going to do here is try to get as much of this meat out of here as I can without All right, so now that I've taken off most of the meat from inside of here, scraped it off, you really don't have to go crazy with it because your borax is going to take care of it. What I like to do is I like to get a little bit of this, and don't worry about it. It's not going to, and I like to rub it put it on the skin right there, because I'm going to mount this on this table. So I should have said that if you're going to mount it, get a good piece of wood to do your work on. That's something that you're going to mount to. You're going to mount it with some nails and kind of nail it flat and lay some stuff on it so that it forms a good fan. Okay, so I've massaged quite a bit of it into there, and then I kind of made me a little pile right here. You see it? And so what I'm going to do is on the table where I'm going to mount it, I'm going to place this in there like that. Just kind of get it in there, massaging it into the meat right there. And I got a little pile that it's sitting in on the table. And then I'm going to start to move my fan around. So what I like to do is, I like to get one, what I do is I take a nail, just an ordinary nail, and I catch it right on the edge of one of the fans. Like that. And then I'll do the same thing on this side, keeping this circle. Good, I grab this other one. All right, so now I have the general look of my fan, and I can fix some of these feathers, you know, if I need to. Like sometimes when they're flopping around on the ground, they misplace a couple of feathers like this. You want to do that now, kind of make your fan symmetrical and pretty, because if you don't, it dries hard. And then so what I'll do is I'll take this borax and I'll push it in there. And if that's how I want my fan to look, I'm going to take something with a little weight, like some boards. I got some little bitty boards right here that I use from time to time, and I can set them on here. And what that's going to do is that's going to just make sure that the fan doesn't move from the position that I put it in. That way when it's drying, I don't have to worry about coming back here. And that gives a flatter surface too. Having some weight on this like this gives it a flatter surface. Eventually this is going to get a plaque. I have some pre-cut plaques that I use, and so I want to make sure that before I put this thing set, that my fan feathers right here on my extra stuff that I grabbed look good. Okay, like that. See that? Because that is how they're going to be. That's how they're going to sit in the fan. Really simple. All right, welcome back. Here I've got the turkey fans, and they've dried out quite a bit. You can see what the back looks like, and this is what the front looks like. Once I clean them up, I'm going to use them in a plaque, or I'm going to put them on a decoy. They still need to dry just a little bit more, and so what I've done is I've turned them over, and they've got their shape. They're not going to come apart, and I just take the residual borax that I used before, and I just kind of pile it up on them like that, and I just let it sit there. And then as they get dry, the flesh is going to get really hard, almost like a brick, and you'll be able to do just about anything with it that you need to do. Thanks for watching.